Mothers know all about life's tricky transitions. Thankfully, Ollie helps you prioritize wellness through every age, life stage, or magnificent mood change. Need a multitasking multivitamin that keeps up with you? How about an essential prenatal for you and baby? Ollie's got you through it all. Life's tricky. Your wellness routine shouldn't be. Get what you need at ollie.com.
This episode is brought to you by National Geographic, presenting its new documentary film, Endurance. Follow the greatest survival story ever told, unpacking the legendary feat of polar explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton, who kept his crew alive for over a year, despite losing their ship in frigid pack ice. Over a century later, a team of modern-day explorers set out to find the sunken ship. Endurance, now streaming on Hulu and Disney+.
He said Roman was supposed to go to the ball.
Okay, and Roman was going to be there at what time?
When it started, well, obviously when it started, when we were supposed to.
Was there ever any talk about that?
I never spoke to Roman. I never communicated with him. I don't know who he is.
This is the plaintiff, Hunter. He says he hired the defendant to create an elaborate costume for him so he could enter a runway contest and win the grand prize. He also hired him for some lessons on how to strut down the runway properly. Well, the guy never delivered on either. He refuses to give him his money back, and he's here in the name of the law suing him for the $700 he's now out. This is the defendant, Taurus. He says he's a designer and he trains models. He has no idea why this strange guy is suing him because he made 2 jackets for him. He gave him multiple training sessions, and he's not giving him back 1 cent. He's accused of not being a model businessman.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Hunter, you are suing Mr. Taurus, doing business as Vinshay. How do I pronounce it?
Vinshay.
Vinshay Designs. For $700 that you say you are out because, according to you, he did not comply with the contract. Tell me what happened.
So basically, I had hired him to prepare me for an event that we were having.
What kind of event?
We call it ball, like a ballroom. It's ballroom stuff. So it's
But
like a function where we get together and we do different categories depending on what it calls for. So at this particular ball, it was calling for a bird effect, like coming as a bird.
Okay.
So
is it like a fashion show or?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
You could say that.
All right.
So I hired him to prepare me for it as well as design and make my costume. Literally, day of, no costume.
How much in advance of the event did you hire him?
About a couple weeks.
And was it one costume or more than one?
It was supposed to be one costume.
All right, and so he was going to prepare what part of that costume? Just the jacket?
I sent him a picture, so it was more so the concept of the look. So whether he did it, just the jacket or the whole piece, that was supposed to be something discussed between us. But he just did the jacket. Like, I had no forte or say in
Well,
anything.
but in all those texts that I've read back and forth, at some point, was there ever any discussion about, hey, I want you to do pants and a jacket, or I just want the jacket? All right. So it seems like everybody was assuming it was just a jacket, if that's...
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So, and how much were you going to pay him for that?
He originally had quoted me $2 something, and then over time, the price went up.
To what?
When I spoke to him over the phone, going over everything, he said $2 something. So I said, okay, so 300 should be able to cover everything plus more. And then, you know, you're supposed to provide receipts, so anything more, like, you'll give back. That was agreed upon. And then he had called me in the middle of the night saying that he needed money for some of the material. Sent him that. So that was for the effect.
So in total, how much did you pay for the? When we say the
believe it
effect, we're
was
talking about the costume, right?
Yes.
Okay. How much?
About 500 so far. I think we're at.
Okay.
And then 150 because in the ballroom stuff, he's good at runway. So I asked him if he can teach me lessons, to better, because that's what I was walking for.
Runway lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1 or 2 lessons after that.
How many lessons did you actually have? You had 3.
I think it was, I can see how much it is. It was like probably, it was definitely not 1. It was either 2 or 3, but yeah.
Okay, it was 3.
And then he just went ghost.
And then that was it. He ghosts? Okay. And you had assumed that it was, or you guys had settled that it would be $30 a class?
So prior to this event, when I had took lessons with him before, it was $30 per class.
Okay.
So giving him this, I expect it to be either that or not less, where we do that amount and
okay.
like 3 classes
so,
and go ghost.
And then at some point you say here, money's for a loan. What happened there?
He hit me up saying that someone that was supposed to give him money didn't come through. So he asked if I can send him the money and like he'll pay me back. I was very firm on, you're gonna pay me back. Is it gonna be this date? Like whatever.
That's kind of weird. Were you guys friends or something?
Somewhat, yeah. We were friends.
So you knew each other from before this?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, I gave him that. The day that we agreed he was gonna pay me back, that never happened.
All right, so now we're at the day of the event and you still don't have the outfit. What happens?
The day of, that's when him and I are finally communicating. He's telling me, why haven't I, been hitting him up before? I chased after you already. After a couple of days of me chasing you and getting nowhere, I'm not gonna continue beating a dead horse. So the day of, we're going back and forth. I'm explaining to him.
Well, let's assume he had called you a week before and said it's ready. Who was supposed to pick it up or drop it off or whatever?
We meet up and...
Meet up where?
Well, we'll discuss that, whether it be at a practice or in the city, or if I go to him, he goes to me.
All right, so the day of the event, what happens?
Couple of hours before the ball starts,
Wait, first of all, how do you know that it's done? What's the first thing that happens?
That's when he called me and told me.
He called you or he texted you?
Couple of hours, I believe he called me.
There was no text on that day?
There was texts on that day as well.
The text was like real early in the morning? What day was the event?
July 1st.
Is this a picture you sent?
We were going back and forth with ideas of different birds. And that was one of the ideas that he had for a bird. So the morning of, he actually texted me saying, hey, and then he asked me if I had black pants to go with the effect.
Let's hold on one second. Let me get to the morning of. The ball is 5 days, this is you. The ball is 5 days away, and we're doing a dress rehearsal before to make sure we look good and everything's set. Whenever we are asked where are our effects and stuff, I'm the only one who doesn't respond. Let me know what's gonna happen. If I'm not gonna have it in time, then let me know. Remember, I gave you extra to get better quality and make the effect look over-sickening. What's that mean? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not that hip.
It's like slang.
Well, you're not that hip either, so I don't know why I looked at you. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's like say over,
like
so you said
over
it
the
right.
top? Over? Yeah, okay. And whatever is left would go back to me, but I'd rather you be honest and let me know what's going on. I want to see your best work, and it'll break my heart if our deal is broken or less than what's expected. I'm an understanding dude when it comes to business. I'm on point, honest, and fair. I would never want to make someone feel taken advantage of. Hope to see you soon. And then he does, I hate this, he does a video that you took a screenshot of, so I can't really play it. I hate when my kids send me that. If they're the ones who started me on texting because we're all busy, and then they make me listen to an entire. I don't have that kind of time. I'm you now. You've made me into you. All right. So what was said on this message?
Basically,
more or less
to trust him and that he got this and not to worry.
Okay. So then that's where you put hashtag trust the process. LOL. I'm very understandable. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Now it's June 27th. What gets sent to him?
June 27th, that was basically a video that I sent him of me practicing with somebody else.
Okay. And then June 28th, he sends you something, but this is cut off. I don't know what that is.
It's like a flyer for another ball.
And then on July 1st, he says, hey, At 2:01 p.m. What time is the event?
I think it starts around 6 or 7.
You say, hey, and then he says, do you have black pants? Do you have your phone with these texts on them?
Yes, I have
want to
them
see
right
the times of them, and I can't do that. Hold on one second, stay where you are, I'm sorry. My bailiff was busy.
Yeah, I had to get a drink real quick. But
Hydration's important.
It is very.
Okay. At 2:09, he says to you, you have black pants? You say, the closest I have are these. That's at 2:14. Send me a picture of the costume.
So literally.
And then on July 1st, at 3:59 later that day, you say to him, give the costume to Roman. Make sure he takes care of it. Send me a pic. Send me a pic of the costume. I'm trying to get whatever I need done on my end. I need the pic ASAP. This is the part that's driving me crazy and gonna make me back out. I don't mean this in a mean way, but it's gonna sound that way because text. But don't tell me what I need. I'm stressed and unprepared listening to you. Right now, I need to get everything on my end. My clothes need to be ironed and steamed. I need to know what I'm doing. Right now, you have me on pause. Black doesn't go with the bird at all. Let me decide everything else. If you want me to at least try, send me a pic ASAP. Pull over real quick. The longer it takes to get the pic, the worse it is. I'm over an hour away from the ball, and then you send him a couple of messages.
So we had a phone conversation where
he says, the bird's legs are black, and then you send him pictures of the bird that's not legs black, and are we talking about the same bird? What is this a picture of right here? Yeah, I'm actually talking about
the jacket. I'll send him the picture. I have to pull over to send him a picture of it, of the jacket, because I was driving when we were texting. So the top picture is a picture of the bird, and this is the picture of the jacket. It's a tuxedo jacket.
Okay.
I'm just holding it, but I took
You're
a picture.
holding it in a funny way.
Yeah.
All right. And then what is this a picture of?
The back of I believe it's the back of it. Yep, that's the back.
Oh, so it's still the same jacket. There's only one jacket.
Yep.
All right, I got it. All right, so who's Roman?
So I never met Roman. I don't know Roman. Him and I had a phone conversation where we were discussing what was going on because I told him everything that's going on I wasn't cool with. He explained that he's going to give it to this person named Roman, and that person's going to give it to me. When I told him no, basically my options was give it to Roman to give to me, or he doesn't give me the effect, I still don't get the money, and we call it a day.
And this is at 4 o'clock on the day of the event.
So I
and
told
you
him
live where?
In the Bronx. And the
you
event's in
live
Brooklyn.
where?
Jersey City.
Okay, which is like saying, you know, California and Louisiana to regular non-New Yorkers.
Feel your max with Brooks Running and the all-new Ghost Max 2. They're the shoes you deserve, designed to streamline your stride and help protect your body. Treat yourself to feel-good landings on an ultra-high stack of super comfy nitrogen-infused cushion that takes the edge off every step, every day. The Brooks Ghost Max 2. You know, technically, they're a form of self-care. Brooks, let's run there. Head to brooksrunning.com to learn more.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write 1 million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
How was Roman gonna give it to you?
I don't know him. I didn't speak to him.
When you text give the costume to Roman? So what was the plan at that point at 3:59?
So he said Roman was supposed to go to the ball.
Okay, and Roman was going to be there at what time?
When it started, well, obviously when it started, when we're supposed to.
Was there ever any talk about that?
I never spoke to Roman. I never communicated with him. I don't know who he is. My options was I can give it to my friend Roman, and he'll bring it to you, or I don't give it to you.
Come and drive to Jersey City at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the day of the event.
No, meaning he doesn't give it to me, and I don't get my money back.
Right. Well, no, the other option was go pick it up or send somebody to pick it up, which is kind of hard to do at 4 o'clock. All right. The picture of the costume is finally sent to him at
And mind you, he's never taken my
4:23.
measurements, and this is the first time we're
I don't understand, though. You guys had 3 runway lessons. Why didn't anybody take your measurements then?
I brought it up, and didn't happen.
Wait, how did you get his measurements?
So when I did the first original practice, I saw his suits. The suit sizes was there. That's how I basically do it.
Why don't you just take why don't you just measure him?
The thing is, I brought my measurement tape for the first studio practice that we did, and it slipped, literally.
What about the second one or the third? How many studio practices did you do?
We did 3.
Right, and you didn't bring your tape measure to any of them? This seems kind of half-baked.
I get it.
Okay, Friday, July 1st, 7:30. Are you Roman?
No.
Oh, that's a shame, because I got some questions for Roman. All right, I'm here. What's Roman's info? This is at 7:37. What time was your event?
It basically opens around 6 and starts at 8 probably.
What is Roman's info? He texts you Roman's info. Roman isn't bringing it. And you say, hold on. My category is about to start. This is at 8:02. Then he gives you a different phone number. Did you try both those phone numbers for Roman? Did you reach Roman in the first phone number?
So they weren't picking up. So I had to go to someone else and say, hey, can you call this person? That person called, and then they picked up.
And then they said what?
They're not gonna make it for me to go to wherever they are, take an Uber to them, or figure it out. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to go up.
Whose number is that? Just call him and say you're Hunter. He has your effect. I did. He said he's not leaving anytime soon for me to send somebody for it or to send an Uber. Then at 11:38, he texts you, hope you're having a good day. I just finished up with mine. I wanted to touch base with you on getting my money back. The $50 I let you borrow and the $500 for the effect. And after 3 practices, you went ghost. That's messed up. I kept reminding you to take my measurements. You kept saying, trust you. I trusted you, and I got screwed at the end. I've shown nothing but kindness to you. I'm not going back and forth. What happened with Roman?
So with Roman, we got to go back a little bit.
Yeah, let's go back to why it wasn't ready until 2:01 on the day of the ball.
I had multiple people. I made his, and then the reason I brought up Roman is because I was going to Brooklyn. That's where I worked. To drop off the effect that I already had made for somebody else. The person, Roman is a makeup artist, so he was doing their makeup. I was giving it to that person so that they were going to the same ball as him. So
to Roman or to the other person?
Roman was there with him doing his makeup.
Who did you give it to though, Roman or the?
I gave it to the person that I made the effect for. And he was there with
You said, here's an effect for another guy I want you to deliver?
Yeah, I had talked to him about it because me and him had spoken about it earlier on the phone.
Right, but the person who you say that you're giving it to is Roman.
Yeah, so Roman is the makeup artist. So
is Roman going to the ball?
Yes.
Okay.
Roman,
what time did Roman get to the ball?
I have no idea. I was at work.
Well,
I have no...
Well, do you have any idea now? Because I presume you've spoken to Roman since you're not only in court, but at the people's court. What does Roman say happened?
I didn't speak to him.
Oh, you never asked Roman whether where's the effect? Did you give him the effect?
No, I gave it to him. I drove there.
No, that wasn't my question. Did you ever ask Roman, hey, Roman, this guy says, because you say you never got the effect.
Yeah,
so did you ever say, Roman, did you give him the effect?
No, I didn't. I was at work. I worked from...
What about since that day? So since that day, have you said, hey, Roman, the guy says he didn't get his effect?
Actually, when he called me about... the effect saying that he wasn't going to get there or get there at that time, that's when I was like, freak. So I was like, hold on. I had to call him like, hey, what time? He's like, I'm getting there. It's just going to be late. And I was like, okay, well, you just screwed me because now...
You did.
Now
so did Roman ever give him the effect, yes or no?
Now that, I didn't... Apparently, yes, just after,
Really? What makes you say that? I keep asking you if Roman tells you that he gave him the effect.
Because I spoke with Roman and the person I gave it.
Afterwards?
Afterwards.
I don't know how I can make my questions any clearer.
No, you're making it clear.
And what did Roman say? I gave him the effect at what time?
After the category. After his category was like
okay, watch this.
Something.
Did Roman give you the effect?
Mm-mm.
You don't have the effect. Do you have any proof that Roman gave him the effect?
No.
You have an affidavit from Roman. Is Roman here to testify?
Roman is not. So again,
so here's what we have. We have no proof that the effect was ever given to the client. Mm-hmm. We have a plan for the effect to get there in time for the category. And you know for a fact it didn't. It's sent with your friend Roman, who you have no evidence while you're in front of me here that Roman actually gave it to him, other than hearsay. You don't have anything from Roman. You don't have Roman here to testify. and he's out now. $50 for a loan. Why were you hitting up your client for a loan?
So the day that I did the, okay, it was a lot. The day that, I ain't gonna bring that up. So I'll just go back here. Boom. I needed the $50 for something personal, but my friend that was supposed to pay me back, that I lent money for, never paid me back.
I know, but you're a business person. Maybe you know.
Oh no, but this, I mean, I asked as a friend because we were friends.
Okay, did you pay him back as a friend or no?
I did not pay him back.
Okay, so you did not pay him back.
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. So and there's 2 classes he didn't get, and you did ghost between the 20-something and the first, and then you surface on the first. You make arrangements for someone to deliver it, and that person arrives after the category, and why wouldn't he get any money back?
Can I say, because Ghost, I communicated with him via phone of why I couldn't make those practices. So it wasn't like I wasn't not going to do it. I did say that I could do it, just we had to reschedule it because of my work schedule. That's the only thing that happened with that. But we communicated that with
Yeah, he
each
doesn't
other
want
on
the other
phone.
2 classes. He's now suing you, so I don't
Yes,
think
that's
that
fine.
he wants the other 2 classes. So that's $60 that's going to go back to him. But what I'd like to understand is why should he be out 5? We know he's not out the 50 because now you admit that you never paid him that back. So why should he be out the 500 if, according to your own admission, Roman didn't get there until afterwards, and you have? First, you told me, I don't know if Roman gave him the costume. You told me that like 5 times. And then you said, yeah, I talked to him later, and he says he gave him the costume. But we don't have any evidence from Roman that the costume was given. And we have him saying that it's the contrary. So why wouldn't he be entitled to his money back if he paid you for something that you didn't provide? And you're so late to the game, too. I know that this is very common because I have this kind of litigation in front of me all the time. I'm an artiste. Trust the process. The process stinks, okay? Because nobody wants to get it at 4 o'clock from Jersey City at the last minute. You know, so when he's trying to get ready and get mentally psyched. So, you know, the whole thing stunk, but in particular, not being able to walk the category. Why would you not refund his money?
Because I spent the money on the look. I that
was kind of a mistake to trust it to Roman.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely. And you might want to ask Roman where it is, because I'm not sure anybody knows where it is. I don't know whether, have you talked to Roman?
Not recently, no. Since all of that, like, after this incident, that was it. But I haven't spoken to him as of today. Like right now.
I'm going to order him to pay you back for the 2 classes you didn't take, the $50 that you loaned him, plus the $500 for the garment that the uncontradicted testimony in this courtroom is you didn't get it, because I don't have Roman here to testify. So I am ruling in your favor in the amount of $610. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, gentlemen.
So the plaintiff prevails. He gets essentially everything he was seeking here in the People's Court, $610. The judge orders the defendant to pay him. Let's see what the defendant has to say. Taras, what's your reaction to the judge's verdict?
I agree with it. I mean, at the end of it, because it made perfect sense. So I have no hard feelings over it.
I mean, don't you feel bad about what happened in the end?
Yes,
that,
because professionally
your client never
wise,
got the chance to show himself off?
Yes. Right? Absolutely. It's just like it sucks for business-wise perspective for me. Yes.
Was he a good student?
Yes, amazing student.
It's a shame he didn't get a chance to do it then, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say now. Hunter's on his way out of the courtroom. Hunter, let me ask you a little bit. You said you wanted this to look sickening. What did you mean by that term, when you said sickening?
Meaning over the top, meaning the best of the best and good quality.
And I mean, you really wanted to win the contest, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
What about the outfit? Did you ever see it? Did you ever get it?
Never saw it, never got it, never touched it, never met Roman.
What do you suppose it is?
The world may never know. Ask Roman.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, congratulations. All right, that'll bring this case to a close. Harvey, what do you think?
Well, Doug, look, this is a case where a witness was critical. Now, we've talked about this in small claims, and if you watch People's Court, you've seen this, that sometimes the judge will allow notarized statements from witnesses who can't attend, and it just depends on how vital they are to a case. The problem with a notarized statement, you can't cross-examine it, and sometimes you need to cross-examine to test the credibility of the witness. So sometimes the notarized statement works, sometimes it doesn't, but you need something.
Marilyn, has John ever embarrassed you in public?
Oh, only every day.
Only just about every day, right? Come on, what have I ever done to embarrass you in public?
Let's just say our social skills are different.
That's fair to point out.
And so sometimes it's
they're so different that I don't go out in public.
No, you'll go out in public and then you won't say a word all night or something. And it's like people are like, "What's John mad at?" I'm like, "No, he's just John."
So I find somebody who wants to talk about pinball.
Right, or
baseball,
or you truly do often behave like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've embarrassed you in public constantly.
Every single time you ask for directions, you embarrass me.
Oh, because
I know how to get there.
Yeah, you get really upset about that.
Yeah, because you don't do that. Only chumps ask for directions.
Yes, of course.
You just freaking find your way there. I mean, I know that the moss grows on the north side of the tree from being a Boy Scout and everything. So,
yes, that's how I want to get where I'm going. Not through GPS or someone telling us. I just want you to watch the moss and the sun.
That's right. I like to go by dead reckoning, right?
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Bishop. She says she went to the defendant, a weight doctor, because she very much wanted to lose 45 pounds because she had 4 strokes and needed to get her health back on track. She saw no results from the defendant's treatment. She lost no weight, and she wants the $799 she paid him returned. So she's suing. This is the defendant, Dr. Thomas Insina. He says he's a chiropractor who also specializes in weight loss, and the plaintiff lost 11 pounds in 14 days, but didn't think that was enough. He never promised the plaintiff how much weight she would lose, but if she stuck with his program, she was on track to lose 30 pounds. The woman bailed on him for some reason, and he doesn't feel she's entitled to any refund. He's accused of not losing it fast enough.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff went to a weight loss doctor to lose 45 pounds, but says after weeks and weeks, the plaintiff lost nothing and wants the money back. But the defendant says the plaintiff lost 11 pounds in 14 days. He never promised she'd lose 45 and doesn't owe her anything. It's the case of Jenny Craig from the block.
Thank you, Douglas. Ms. Bishop, you are suing your former doctor, Dr. Insina, for $799 of a refund for a weight loss program because, according to you, it didn't work. Tell me what's going on.
I had worked previously with Dr. Tom and had lost about 45 pounds in 2015 or 2016. The program was great. Unfortunately, I gained the weight back, and I had some episodes in my life where my doctors had told me that, weight was part of the problem. So, of course, I went back to Dr. Tom, and he told me he had a new program. And it wasn't as expensive as the previous program was, but he promised the same result.
He promised a result?
Yes, he did.
How can he promise a result? That's so individual, whether or not you lose weight. I mean, he can promise to give you the services, but he promised a result. Let's see. Stay right where you are. Ultimate Fat Loss Manual. Lose 20 to 45 pounds in 40 days guaranteed. Okay, go on. Yep, he did. Promised a result.
So that was the result I did with him in 2016. 16 or 17.
So is that the manual you just showed me is for the other program or for this program?
It was for the previous program.
That's for the previous program. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is this magical beans he's selling? Like, what does the program consist of that it has you losing weight so fast?
So I took this 3 times a day.
What is it?
Under my tongue. It's a liquid. Then
it's an appetite suppressant?
I don't know.
Dr. Tom, what is that liquid?
That liquid it's actually a combination of amino acids, and the objective is to get you into a fat burning state. Under normal circumstances, we are burning sugar because it's cheaper, it's easier, but your body really prefers to burn fat if we can get you into that fat burning state and reduce the amount of sugar and carbs that you're eating.
So is this kind of like the premise behind keto in South Beach that you...
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is it tastier?
It tastes good.
Yes, it really is. It's a very
You think I'm familiar with keto in South Beach? So you do the program the first time and you lose 45 pounds in 45 days?
I did.
Okay, so that's amazing. All right, so then now you buy the cheaper program from him this second round, and does he make a guarantee on this second program that he sells you?
He told me it was just like the system, except it was less in cost. He said it would have the same results. And because I had done the previous program with him and had reached my ultimate weight, of course, I said, oh, no problem. So I tried it, and I started it in December 24th, the day before Christmas. And
you are a sadist. The day before Christmas you start that?
Well, yeah, because on both programs, you get to eat the day before you start the program. You take the liquid, and then you can eat regularly. And then the day after you start you start eating stuff like veal, venison, and certain foods. Okay. So I started the day before because I could eat regularly. So I started it on the 25th, and I went back to him on the 5th, January 5th of 2022. I had lost 5 pounds in the 11 days.
Okay.
So I wasn't getting the same results. And then I didn't ask for all my money back. I asked, well, can I have a portion of it back? Because I am not losing.
So what I hear you saying is that you joined the second program. And how long is the second program supposed to be?
It was a 45-day program.
And instead of spending 45 days and working on it, after 10 days, you had only lost 5 pounds, not 10, or 11 days, you had only lost 5 pounds, not 11. So since you weren't losing a pound a day, you wanted your money back.
Correct.
Okay. Dr. Tom, let me hear from you. What kind of doctor are you?
I am a chiropractor.
Okay.
But with Program A, the first one that she started with, we did offer that guarantee. In about, I think it was 2017 or 2016, the FDA basically sued us and said we could not give that guarantee. And the manufacturers of the program were actually sued $1 million. Had to pay $1 million fine, and they told
you
us
didn't get sued. Did you get sued or no? Yeah.
No,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. They covered all that for us because they told us to offer that guarantee. So they said from here on in, you offer the guarantee, you do it at your own risk. So I stopped guaranteeing totally. There was never a guarantee after that for fear of reprisal.
Right.
So. Just to explain the program a little bit, there's no prepackaged foods or shakes or bars or anything like that. It's just regular food you buy in the grocery store. You prepare at home. You prepare it using no fats or oils. And it's a list of about maybe a dozen proteins, a dozen vegetables, and a dozen fruits. There is some low-carb breads like wraps and things that are included. And you simply mix and match to your taste. It's totally doctor supervised, which means the old program, we used to do it via text, but then we found out that was not HIPAA compliant. So now we use a patient portal, and it's password protected. So every day they're supposed to contact me through this patient portal, tell me exactly what they eat, how much they drink. They're supposed to drink a certain amount of water every day too. And everything about what they're doing. There's exercise is not included. As a matter of fact, it's kind of discouraged while you're doing the program.
Why? That doesn't sound particularly healthy.
If you think of it this way, you think about an animal. Let's just take a lion or a wolf. They go out and they hunt. And generally, they will get a certain amount of food they eat, and their metabolism stays up because they're hunting, they're eating, they're hunting, they're eating. If they go out on a hunt 2, 3, 4 days and they're not eating, their metabolism will slow down to give them reserves so that they can continue to hunt.
But
So
can
we
you eat
find-
all you want on this program or no?
Oh, no, man. Well, there are certain portions. There's some what we call free vegetables that would be like lettuce and cabbage and celery.
Oh,
and-
isn't that delicious?
Well-
Why can't that taste like chocolate? I don't get it. Why? Why does chocolate have to taste like chocolate and lettuce have to taste like lettuce?
Well, that's something you'd have to ask God. because
I have. I'm not getting an answer, you know? All right.
So
But
at any
here's the
rate-
thing, Dr. Tom.
Yes, ma'am.
She feels that, she says you gave her a guarantee. And your answer to that is, no, I didn't, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Ms. Bishop, do you have any evidence that he gave you a guarantee?
I only have what he told me.
Okay,
And
well,
he gave me-
that's what you're saying he told you. He says he told you something different. So do you have any emails, texts, anything where he guarantees?
Let's see.
And then my second question to you is, you quit in the middle of the program, so we don't know what you would have lost because you quit in the middle of it, because
Well,
it wasn't
I
happening fast enough.
Yeah. No, I don't have any emails on this phone.
And what does he tell you when you say, I'm going to quit because I've only lost 5 pounds and not 11 in 11 days? What does he tell you?
He tells me to stick with it.
Right. And did you stick with it?
Well, actually, no. I went to find another doctor who was offering me the same system, and I started working with him and getting information to start his program, which I started.
And how'd you do on that program?
Oh, unfortunately, I've just had a week and a half battle with gout, which is very painful.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But I sent in pictures, and I was losing a pound a day.
Okay. So basically you want your money back because you weren't losing a pound a day.
Correct. Or I asked him, I didn't have a problem because he sold me something, but it wasn't working out to my satisfaction. Even if there was a deduction, that would have been fine. But he said, I won't give you anything back.
No.
And I thought that was unfair.
Right, but I don't, because this is a contract, and you are unable to prove that he violated the contract by making a guarantee that didn't happen. And even if he had made that guarantee, you didn't stick it out until the end of the program to see how much you did lose. You quit after 11 days over 3 pounds. I mean, I don't know that that's reasonable. We need to be a little bit kinder to ourselves when it comes to that. I'm not going to order him to refund the money. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Okay.
So the defendant is off the hook here. He does not have to give the $799 back to the plaintiff. Ms. Bishop, what are you thinking?
Well, that was her decision. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is what will stand.
Well, you did lose 5 pounds in 11 days. I know the doctor was saying you were on track to lose weight. Had you stuck with it, you probably would have. Don't you think you quit too early? You gave up?
In 11 days, with the results I was looking for, no.
Well, apparently this just didn't work fast enough for you. Dr. Encina, does this happen very often? Do people come back and actually sue you if they don't lose weight?
This is the first time in, I think it's been 15 years that I've been doing weight loss. This is the first time it's ever happened.
Well, I guess you can't please everybody all the time, but there's always the first time to get sued. But look, hey, you prevailed. You are the victor in this, and you do not have to give her money back.
I mean, Doug, look, the plaintiff's a loser on a bunch of counts, not the least of which is she quit after 8 days, and there was no guarantee of specific weight loss.
My dry cleaners ruined the pants from my new suit. They say their liabilities limit to $100, so that's all they offered me. But now I have to buy a new suit for $500. Shouldn't they owe me at least that much?
Yeah, all right, so what probably happens, because this is what I've seen in every single one of these cases, is that on the back of the ticket, it says our liability. The thing nobody ever reads, our liability is limited to $100. Now, technically speaking, if this is the very first time you have brought clothes to that dry cleaners, you are not presumed to know that they are sneaking that up on you after you've had the transaction of leaving them your clothes. You leave them the clothes, and then you walk off, and then after the transaction's consummated, you leave the clothes, they're going to clean it.
So you have some wiggle room.
So you'd have some wiggle room. But what typically happens is it's not somebody who you're using for the first time. It's somebody you've used a bunch of times.
Right.
And so you've gotten that ticket, and you've just never bothered to read it.
Right.
Most times they'll have it written up on the, they'll have a sign that says it too.
So
and that'll go again. If they have the sign, even if it's the first time, that'll go again. Let me give you a piece of advice.
Okay.
The thing to do in these cases is always, always to negotiate with them.
Right.
Because most judges are going to end up enforcing that thing on the back.
Right.
So just negotiate $500 worth of dry cleaning with them, unless you can't stand it and you don't want them touching your stuff.
Or even a lesser amount, if
lesser or more amount. If they've ruined $500 worth of clothes, then tell them I want $500 worth of free dry cleaning from you.
They might do that.
Because $500 of free dry cleaning costs them infinitely less than that.
Yes.
So they're happy not to hand you $100. So, if it was a one-off and you think they're otherwise good, that's the way to go, because in all likelihood, there's going to be a sign there, and it's going to have been written right on your ticket, and it's going to be enforceable.